All right. So I'm working on M74 right now. And I just opened up my Discord. Go over there. And, all right. So I'm doing some live stacking on this image. Let's see what it looks like here in a second. Color adjust. Stretch it. There we go. So this is live stacking while I'm collecting the data. Looks like I've got 5 images stacked so far. And change that to 20 so we can see it. So it's slowly stacking images. This is without any flats or darks, so I'll apply those when I do my final processing. If you're viewing, go to the little gearbox in the lower left on the YouTube channel there and select the higher resolution, either 1080p or 1440p, and the screen will look a lot better. In fact, I'm going to stretch this so that we can see it a little easier. All right, so that's without any flats or darks while we're acquiring the data. I'm going to go pull up my flats, see what that does for us. Calibration files. Let's pull up the flats from last time. Flat frames. Okay. I might as well pull the darks up too. Those would have been 300. Where are they here? There they are. All right. Hi, Tom. slide this over here for now. And we're going to stop that. Recalibrate the darks. Yeah. Let's see. Do I have that turned on? I guess not. Hmm. There we go. On astronomy.fm, but unfortunately the servers are down. Hmm. Hmm. Not much going on. Hello, Bob.
Hey, Doug.
I was down in the other channel.
How are you?
Good. How about you?
I'm good.
Yeah, I finally got a clear night, so I went after a couple of comments. They're done, and I'm just working on M74 now.
Okay.
Moon
I'm
won't be
still
up.
work.
Go ahead.
Sorry, go ahead. Go ahead.
Well, the moon won't be up until after midnight, so we'll get a few hours in.
Right. I'm working on the Spaghetti Nebula again, trying to get some RGB data on a 4-panel mosaic I'm doing out of it. And it's been a while since I've been able to do anything, as I'm sure you know.
Right.
So what comments did you do tonight?
T2 and N2.
Okay.
Let me see here. Let me pull up my list. Pictures. Yeah, 2017 T2 Pan Stars and 2018 N2 Assassin. So they're the two brighter ones. They're like 10th and 13th magnitude, something like that, or 11th and 13th.
Okay.
So pretty easy to get.
Mm-hmm.
I was going to go after maybe 891 tonight, but I did that too. Yeah, I ought to really redo that. I did that a couple of years ago, and I've improved my technique since then.
Yeah.
But I got 74 and 2403 already lined up to go, so I figure I'll just let that run. We're going to get clouded out here about 2 in the morning.
Right.
So. So are you on the YouTube channel? Yeah, I'm on waiting for the Space Pirates radio to start, but they're having server problems, so they're not up and running yet. And I've been imaging for 2 hours already, so I figured I'd just bring the YouTube channel up.
Right.
Sounds thirsty, buddy.
You heard that, eh?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
you're 5x9, man.
Yep.
For those who are listening in on the YouTube channel, I'm also on my Discord channel for the audio, so that people can join in and chat. So you download Discord. It's in the text here. You look for Northern Cross Observatory once you've downloaded and logged in. Then you can put your headset mic on and talk to us at the same time. But for now, yeah, it looks like they're not going to get that server up and running.
What server's that?
It's astronomy.fm server. They're still trying to fix it right now. Hopefully they'll get that up and running.
What, Doug? What are you using as far as how are you? I think I know the answer to this, but how are you communicating to your telescope in your observatory? Do you have a computer out there that you're connected to, or?
Yes, I have the control computers out in the observatory, and it's running everything. And I just do a remote desktop to it.
Right.
So that what you're seeing in the YouTube channel is effectively the laptop that's running out in the observatory rendered here in the house and transmitted to YouTube.
Right. Okay.
So I'm rendering using remote desktop. I'm rendering a display that's actually larger than the laptop. It's 1440p. That's why I can get so much real estate on there.
Yeah.
And that's a wireless connection.
Right.
The observatory's about 150 feet away.
Okay. Right now I'm connected by a USB repeater cable, but I recently bought a mini PC to put up there, and it's only from where I'm sitting right now. It's only probably about 50 feet away, but I was having problems connecting to the mini USB through my router and everything, and I didn't want to waste the night, so I'm using that USB repeater cable, but it's a 20-meter cable, and I had previously bought a 25-meter cable, and that one didn't work, but the 20-meter worked. It's similar if you're familiar with Chuck's Astro. He's using the same one I'm using now, but when I went to the longer one, it didn't work. It didn't connect.
Is it an active cable?
It is an active cable, yeah.
Yeah, because I've got a 15-meter active USB 3 cable coming off the cameras to my laptop, and that works fine. That gives me good throughput too, as far as data. And I'm transferring, I'm transferring a lot of data on my guider.
I want to. Right now, I've just got a pier up there at the top of the hill, just 50 feet away, and next year I'd like to build an observatory, probably something similar to yours, a roll-off. And I'm just trying to figure out what'll work best for that.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's not like super far away. It's not nearly as far away as yours is right now. So, but at the same time, like tonight, there's been so few nice, clear nights that I didn't want to waste the night. So I went to the repeater cable that I knew it would work. you know.
Right. Right. Well, I consciously made the decision I wasn't going to run any Cat 5s or Cat 6 to the observatory since I did my trenching 35 years ago, and I'm not going to trench through that clay again.
Oh, yeah, I hear ya. I got clay here too. Totally get it.
And so I went up there and decided I put a mesh network in place so that I've got repeaters basically at both ends.
Okay.
And so I'm getting 30 megabytes per second throughput anyways, which is you know running 5G, and that works just fine.
Okay.
So the only cable running out to the observatory is power.
Okay.
And this way, with the laptop sitting out there, I can, when the weather's nicer, I can go out there and just sit there right at the desk and
Sure.
run it
Sure.
straight
Yeah.
there anyway. So
Actually, I'm looking forward to hopefully doing that next year. You know, after I get the shed built out there. You know, to be able to spend some time just right out there with it. You know, so. But on these nights like tonight, where it's what 10 degrees or whatever, it's nice to sit in the house.
yeah, I know.
I'm sure you do.
Well, that was the intent.
Yeah.
And in the summertime, well, when I was working, the idea there was started up at 11 o'clock at night, go to bed midweek and be able to image all night long while I was sleeping, so I could still get up and go to work.
Exactly, and that's where I'm at. That's where I'm at exactly. I understand that completely. Tonight just happens to be my last day of work for the year today, so it worked out beautifully because, you know, like you said, it's probably only going to be clear till 2 o'clock in the morning or something like that. But, you know, I don't have to worry about getting up tomorrow to go to work, so that's nice.
Right.
Yeah.
So we're on frame 12 of the of M74 right now for tonight's early run. Like I said, I did Comet T2 and N2 earlier in the evening. Did only what I think 15 and 30 minutes on the two of them.
Okay.
And or something like I did. Actually, it was 2 minutes. I did 24 minutes and 30 minutes is what I did for those two. And then I figured I'd spend the rest of the evening before the clouds roll in on one object alone and just collect lots of data on it.
Sure. Oh, I see. There's a camera on you too. There. I just noticed that.
Oh yeah, I better quit picking my nose. Thank you for reminding me.
I didn't notice it till just now. You're really small, so I couldn't tell what you were doing. But
yeah.
um,
Yeah, I decided to turn it on since I've got a few people that have come in and they can see what my den looks like. That's my astronomy library behind me and
right.
my all my other junk. I got a pair of binoculars back there. I got a slide scanners and printers and tons of astronomy books. I actually just got rid of about 20 plus years of astronomy and sky and telescope and deep skies monthly of all the magazines I collected in the 70s and 80s and into the 90s. And
Did you
yeah, I just got rid of them.
sold them or?
No, I just got rid of them.
Okay.
People said they're valuable. I said no, they're not valuable as far as I'm concerned. They're just taking. Well, we did a big cleanup of the basement in October. Filled up a 20 cubic yard dumpster. So that they were part of that. They were part of that exodus. My wife and I are retired, so we're kind of purging, if you will.
Yep.
So I'm going to talk to Marty. I'm assuming he's listening in. So this would be an example, Marty, of doing a pirate radio broadcast for you guys. You talked to me several times over the year about maybe doing one of these nights, and this would have been an example where it's clear and happens to be the same night that you're doing your broadcast. So we could have done something like that. Yeah, hello, Dale and Nick. Clink. So I have Bob on my Discord channel, so he's the one that's talking with me online here. So just to let you know, we do have an audio channel that people are welcome to join in Discord. Look up Northern Cross Observatory. If you got a mic and headset, you can come in and chat with us at any time. And so that's how we do the audio.
It works nice. It's a lot better than trying to type to you, Doug. So.
Well, yeah, because I have to pay attention.
Yeah. And I hate typing. That's the biggest thing.
Yeah, Marty can only do it if it's clear, so it'll be rare during the winter. Tonight happens to be clear and you guys are on, so I was going to offer that up as an option for you, but whatever. We'll work it out sometime in the next year.
Is that Marty Coons?
Yeah.
I remember him. I'm sure he doesn't remember me, but I definitely remember him.
Yeah, Bob Miller is on.
Keller.
Keller, sorry.
Yeah.
Bob okay. Keller. I'm terrible with names. I'll freely admit it. I'm an idiot when it comes to remembering names.
Me too.
Yeah, Marty and Diane do this Space Pirate Radio broadcast every Wednesday at 9 o'clock on astronomy.fm. They've been doing it for years. And it's very informative and interesting. So
you might check it out.
Yeah, tonight they're having problems with the audio server. They haven't been able to get it up and running. So.
Oh, it is Wednesday, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, you just go to astronomy.fm and the links are right there.
Okay.
So while I've been waiting for a few weeks for the weather to get better, I've been going back and looking at old data and doing some additional processing, or I actually created some collages of some of the galaxies and nebulas I've been working on for the last year. So that's been kind of just keeping me busy doing that, besides going out and Christmas shopping. Yeah, Dale, you could do that. In fact, this YouTube records this, so this will be available once we're done, anyways, for people to peruse through. It's like watching grass grow, though. I'll warn you right now. Oh, the audio is up. The audio is up. Let me refresh, see if I can get to it. Yes, I can. I don't hear anything.
Author and science. He's the author of 2 books. How Humanity Looked Beyond Our Milky Way and Discovered the Entire Universe, and Treknology, the science of Star Trek from tricorders to warp drive. He can be found blogging about all things physics at startswithabang at Forbes.com.
Ethan, welcome back. It has been an age.
It had. The universe has been full of wonderful surprises and new things for us to learn.
Okay, where is that coming from?
That's coming from me. That's Bob.
Oh.
I'm connected to it. Yeah, I found it. So when you said the audio was up, I tried to get it and I got it. So.
Oh, okay. there you go. You can mute yourself if you want to listen to it.
I did. I muted it. I
mean,
muted it. I'll have to check it out though. That's cool.
Yeah, they're up live now.
You have to bookmark that.
Well, if Marty and Diane get their audio up and running, let's see here. I can. Oh, he's going to do a full hour. Okay. Well.
Hey, Doug, I remember seeing slides of the Warren Club back in the 60s and 70s that went down to the Cape to see Apollo launches. Did you get to participate in any of that?
Not the Apollo launches, but the STS-1 launch I went to.
Okay, cool.
They went down before I joined the club. It was 1972. It was Apollo 16.
Okay. Yeah, I remember seeing slides. I'm sure that's what it was then.
Yeah, I've been copying the slides. I've got legacy slides. I've been scanning them in over the last month here.
Okay.
So that's what you're seeing is on my Facebook page is.
Well, actually, I remember seeing them back. I don't know what would it have been in the mid '80s. It was an anniversary. I don't know. Was it 25 years? Or
yeah.
Something like that
Yep.
And that's what I'm thinking of. I remember seeing the slides then. An actual slideshow.
Yeah, we probably did that slideshow.
Yeah.
So. Oh. Well, I'm going to mute myself and going to listen to the broadcast. They're starting it up, so.
Okay, maybe I'll do the same. All right.
With a bang at Forbes.com. Ethan, welcome back. It has been an age.
It has, but you know what? The universe has been full of wonderful surprises and new things for us to learn. So I'm excited to tell you and all your wonderful listeners.
Oh, let's see. Oh, we got all kinds of spacecraft. You still with me, right, Dan?
Yeah, in fact, I wanted to mention the spacecraft I saw last week.
Yeah, working on stacking this comet. Astronomy.fm is over now, so. So I'm back on audio. Hello?
Hey, Doug.
Okay, I wanted to make sure that was you and not my observatory opening up.
No, I am not your observatory open up. I just been listening to Marty's thing. Nice.
Yep.
So which comet is this you got up on your screen?
This is T2, Pan-STARRS, 2017
Okay.
T2. I took this evening.
Right.
Just trying to figure out how much illumination I want to. Don't want to overexpose it or.
Right.
See, my centroid's off a little bit. I see that. Yeah, I think that's too dark. I want to be able to see the tail, so. Yeah, a lot of this is just art form.
Right.
You know, what do you like?
Exactly.
I like a dark background, but in the case of extended tails, it makes it disappear.
Yeah.
So I tend to lighten these up a little bit. Yeah, that's good enough. I don't spend a lot of time on processing, especially comments, because they're just raw data, basically, just to capture where it's at. That's about it.
Right.
Yeah, let's see here. How many frames do I have? 6, 7. Is that right? I got 18. Let me check that. Let's see here. Yeah, I guess I did take 2019. Took 19. I had an error in one of the files, and I ain't sure why that is, but all right, save as.
You still there, Doug?
Yep. You hear me? Can you hear me? Yeah, I'm still here. All right, what was I doing here? Yeah. All right, so that's a preliminary processing for the comment for tonight's run. Save that away. Okay. See how my acquisition's going here. That's the acquisition's still running good. So now I can work on the other comment. I had to download PixInsight again because it crashed. It was the previous version was crashing on this data for some reason. So.
Didn't they just have a update?
Yep.
Recently? Yeah. I think I just updated that just recently.
They had two. And the one I had was crashing on me, so I updated to today. Yeah, they had a release today. Yeah, they had a release today. Yep.
I noticed SGP had an update.
Yeah, I haven't updated that yet. I figured I don't want to touch that yet.
I hear you. The focus thing looks a little different than it used to. Kind of looks a little more refined, yes. That's the only thing I noticed. Instead of, when it creates that V thing, instead of creating two lines that intersect, it actually creates like a curve instead. You'll know what I'm talking about when you get up to updating that. Seems to work okay.
Yep. Well, that's what's important. Yeah. All right. Let's see if we can work it on the other comment I took. Working on N2. My acquisition on M74 continues. I can process previous data. Oh. So I'm deburying the images now. I'll walk through what I do here. I only do comment stacking in PI. I don't do regular stacking in there. I usually stack and I usually use a stack in DSS and then just process it in PI. Well, because stacking in DSS is easier. But the comment one, I have to stack in the comments are easier to stack in PI. So because you can pick the first and then the last frame and interpolates through them. Let me change my output file here. So I'm going to, so I've debated them. Now I'm going to look at the first one, zoom in on it, and mark it. And then I'm going to pull up the last one, zoom in and mark it. And then execute this. And it's writing those files out to another folder. Looks like my YouTube is hung. I don't see it refreshing. There we go.
I mean, I'm seeing a few stuff.
Yep. Yep.
You got it. I'm assuming you're picking the comment now.
Yep. And now I just did the alignment. Now I got to integrate those files.
Right.
Going to pick those up and go. Yeah. See, I'm getting errors on this guy. Parsing site latitude fits. Okay, parsing. I'm trying to figure out why that's wrong. I should check my location. I think that's why it was my previous version was crashing. It was getting an invalid fits tag and crashing on it. Yeah, even now, see, it's still giving me the red errors here. Parsing. Oh, it doesn't like my longitude and latitude. That's interesting. It doesn't like my positions. Why? I have no idea. All right, so it's stacking it now. But that's why it was crashing on me. It was that version was having a problem with my longitude and latitude for some reason. Okay, so these are, close these. So this is what I've got here. Stretch this out a bit. This one's dimmer, so it's going to be a little bit less of stuff. This one's not moving a lot either. Stars are just a little bit oblong, so that's about how much it moved. Not a lot. Right. In fact, a lot of double stars. I think there was one bad frame in there, so everything's a little dimmer ones are all doubled up. Let's see here. Yeah, this was not very impressive. I won't spend much time on this one at all.
Right.
I took images last month of this, both of these.
Did you?
Yeah. Yeah, I do this. I just do a quick 15-minute capture usually. 15 or 20 minutes, something like that. This was N2. And this is how many frames. Wasn't that many. $11. 11 frames. They're 2 minutes apiece, though. So it's pretty dim. I think it's 13 and a half, something like that. Someday I'll figure out how to align on the stars and then align on the comet and then combine the two. I haven't figured that out yet. That's what these.
Doable?
Yeah, it is. It's quite tedious from what I've gotten halfway there. All right, so quit that. Let's see how this is doing. This is starting to shape up pretty nicely. Got 28 frames in. Guiding's pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's averaging less than an arc second. 0.84.
Mm-hmm. That sounds good.
Yep. Yeah, I'm guiding with an 071 camera.
Okay.
Which people say, oh, you can't do that. That's impossible. Well, I'm doing it.
Right.
It's a one-shot color camera.
Right.
But I'm binning at 3x3. So the pixels are 1.5 arc seconds across at 2000 millimeter. Instead of, they're normally a half arc second.
Mm-hmm.
So it's effectively acting like a monochrome camera.
Right.
I mean, it's still got all the filtration going on, but there's, and I'm looking at the near infrared with the camera. That's why they said it wouldn't work, but it's working fine for me, and I've got a nice half a degree field of view, so. And we got somebody else online watching.
Yeah.
I don't know who, but. I think my wife went to bed.
Mine too.
Yeah, I have to shut the IR camera that's out in the observatory off because it actually affects the acquisition. The scope gets some little bit of light leak even from the IR indicators.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I noticed in my guiding camera because my guiding camera is looking at near infrared. Yeah, it's amazing. Little LEDs around the room there. I've had to cover them with tape.
Wow.
So this object will go for about another hour, and then it'll switch to 2403 for the rest of the night.
There are some clouds moving across the west part of the state that are going to eventually
Yeah.
mess us up, but they're not. They're not even you know, they're not even glancing yet. So they're coming from like the northwest.
Yep.
I'm going to shortly be halfway through what I hope to do tonight. I don't think I'll get everything in I wanted to do, but I'm like I think I told you I'm doing a 4-panel mosaic,
Mm-hmm.
and tonight I'm trying to do RGB just to get some star color, and I'm almost done with the second panel, and so we'll see what I end up all getting tonight. I'm happy to get anything lately, you know.
Oh, most definitely.
Yeah,
So there's the cloud pattern right there.
you see it?
Yeah, I'm looking at.
Oh, are you have it up on your thing?
Yeah, that's tomorrow. I'm gonna go look at what is it? We've got that other weather.
One that I like that Chuck Astro talked about one of the YouTube videos. It's College of DuPage.
Yeah, I'm on it right now.
Oh, okay, yeah, and that's the one I watched. If I look at the air mass um, version of their thing, you can see this cloud thing moving. You know, you know it's getting close to approaching Lansing maybe, but we've got a little bit of time left. I'll take what I can get.
Oh yeah.
I don't think there was actually a possibility that tomorrow night might have some possibility too, and then Saturday or Sunday night or something like that too. I'll be taking advantage of whatever I can. So.
Yeah, I don't see anything tomorrow night. Tomorrow night.
I look on. Oh, sorry. There's a app I go to called Clear Outside.
Yeah, but I'm also looking at astrophyric.
Yeah, and according to it, tomorrow night looks good. But I mean, it depends on which one you look at.
Yeah, if they all align to get the same, then you know you can pretty good.
Then
But
you know you got a really good chance.
yeah, but they usually don't.
Oh, right, exactly.
Oh, this one's not even coming up. What the heck's that? What the heck's going on there? Hmm. Oh, I don't even have you turned on here. Let me turn your audio on so people know you're here.
Mm.
I mean, I can hear you, but they couldn't. I had
Right.
I had it turned off on my YouTube channel.
I see.
It's on. It's back on now.
It's nice being able to actually talk to you because I remember last year sitting out at Addison Oaks and having to type messages to you, you know, and it's
Yeah, and I have to be paying attention on that monitor too.
exactly, yeah, that too, yeah. So, you know, I hear you respond to something that I typed, you know, a couple minutes ago or a few minutes ago, and I just hate typing.
No, I get it. It's a lot more fun. It's a lot more interesting to just be able to chat.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, I'm going to actually assume that this is probably the only thing I'll get tonight because the clouds will roll in here probably by 1 or 2
Right.
o'clock. And I'm not sure I want to leave the observatory open that late, or you know, I may want to close it up before it actually clouds up.
Yeah.
They're not predicting any snow squalls or anything, are they?
No, there's no precipitation predicted. You know, from what I see. So. But I'm the same way. When I see that thing getting closer, starting to screw up my images, I'll probably go out and close things down. So.
Well, I've left it open all night long.
Right.
As long as I knew there wasn't going to be any rain.
Yeah.
I don't care if it clouds up because it'll just try for an hour and a half and then it'll park itself.
Mm-hmm.
And the building's locked up, so I don't have to worry about that.
Right.
So I'm going to take this data from tonight. I'm going to add it to my other two. I think I had 3 nights of data on here. I might have close to 180 frames now at 5 minutes each.
Oh, nice.
If I remember correctly, let me take a look here. Yeah, this is 150. This is 158 frames stacked.
Oh, yeah.
With an asteroid running through it down here in the lower right around 4:30.
Oh, yeah, I see that.
This is the small version. Let me pull up the big version. There we go. This is better. Yeah, now you can see it a lot easier. Got a lot of weird gradients still going on, even though I took flats. I need to work on better flats, I think. Of course, that gradient in the upper left is a light leak from the earlier days.
Oh, wow. That's nice.
Here it is with a little more noise, so it's not quite as smooth. So that's basically, I'm just going to add the data to this one. That should probably be the last that I'll take of this object.
Uh-huh.
I think I've wasted enough time on it.
That looks good.
In 2403, the other one is right here. I want to get a lot more data on this one. This is only 90 frames. Only 90 frames. That's 90 times 5 minutes.
Right. Right.
I certainly have changed my habits. I used to just take an hour's worth of data on stuff. Yeah, I said, oh, I got it. I'm good enough.
Yeah.
But now I'm running out of the bigger stuff. I'm having to go to my ABL clusters.
Uh-huh.
And those even then, an hour is not really good enough for it. So the one ABL cluster, I had to go about 8 hours to get any detail in a couple of the galaxies because they're so tiny.
The second one just came up for me. What was it, 24?
03.
03. Yeah, that's nice. And there's what did you say, 90 frames? 80 frames?
That's 90 frames.
Uh-huh, nice.
Yeah, that's 7.5 hours.
Mm-hmm.
And the other one's about, what, 12? What did I say? 158 times 5. Yeah, the other one's 13 hours.
Mm.
Doug
Close to
Struble,
double.
Doug Struble and those guys, they'll take 30, 40, 50 hours on a nebula.
Right.
I don't know. I don't quite have that patience. I'm glad I took the 2 comets tonight to get them out of the way because it's clear. Because
Yeah.
we only get clear skies every 3 weeks.
I know. I wasn't sure I'd remember how to do this stuff when I thought it was going to be clear tonight. Will I be able to connect all my equipment? And it worked well. So.
I told my wife I'm rusty. I walked out there, I powered up everything, and realized I didn't bring my hand paddle out and my laptop. Oops. So I had to come back in and get it.
Yeah. And it's not super warm out there today.
Oh no, it's 6 degrees right now.
Is it really?
Yep. It's only 6 degrees out.
Yeah, it is. I just checked it here too. Yeah, 6.6. Wow.
Just checking my laptop's temp. I have it closed up and I have it in its carrying bag, which should
really?
which should keep it warm enough. Yeah, it's always, as long as I can keep that GPU above 0 Celsius, in other words, freezing, I'm good. Because the keyboard part of the platform with the laptop closed up, it keeps the display warm too, and it's inside the case, so it'll stay plenty warm. My biggest problem is my UPS may shut down on me at 6 degrees. I should go out there and restart my heating pad I have on the UPS. Because it shuts off every 2 hours. I wish I could change that so I didn't have to worry about it. Because it's going to shut off here probably in about 10 minutes. And I've had the UPS itself shut down at 9 degrees. So it's actually below operating temperature now outside. And everything's, the scope and the electronics are powered on by the UPS. I did that on purpose so I had clean power. But it doesn't like to operate when it's this cold. I was in the middle of the lunar eclipse in January, and my UPS died on me.
Oh no! Well, that was such a cold night.
Oh yeah, it got down to like tonight.
Well, I mean that it wasn't. I thought it was even colder than that. No.
I don't remember, so I'd have to go look it back up again.
I went out. That was before I had anything at home, and I went out to Addison Oaks, and nothing was going as it should go, and eventually it got to the point where it was dangerous, and I just packed everything in and came home.
Well, yeah, single digits is dangerous.
Yeah, I mean, I have like a hunting blind that I would set up, and I kind of, and it was windy too, and I couldn't get the heater working, and then a bunch of the other stuff wasn't working, and eventually it's like, you know what, this isn't even safe anymore. I'm just gonna go home, and I kind of just got to watch it visually, you know, while I was trying to set up, but I got nothing as far as, you know, through the scope.
Yeah. No, I was able to run for most of it.
That's good.
In fact, I was broadcasting live and people were watching, and And I says, oh, something's happened. I've lost power to the scope. And I went out there. I turned on the outside camera so they could see me out there. And I gave them a thumbs down. I couldn't get the UPS, couldn't get the UPS to stay up and running. I mean, I could pull the plugs and plug it into the regular power, but I'd prefer not to do that. Because because I'm running 150 feet from the house to that building on number 10 wire, and that's a long ways even for 240 volts. I split it out there as a 110 circuit on the inside.
I see.
But we get heck, the UPSs I have in the house sometimes beep on me because the power we get to the house is not clean all the time. And the last thing I want to have happen is a power spike out of that hardware out there.
Oh yeah, right.
So I'm going to buzz out there and restart the heater pad. I'll be right back.
All right.
All right, it's 11:15. I should be good for another 2 hours.
Good.
Heater's back on. Hey, Fred, Christian, Bob. I've also got my Discord channel up if you want to talk to me. Oh, you know why I'm not on NSN? It's because I run 5 hours on an object, and that's pretty boring. So that's why I'm not on the NSN right now. I don't hop around much. I already did my comments earlier this evening, and so I'm just working on some more data. My live feed gone?
Let me look. Doesn't look like it. Looks like you're still good.
Okay. Yeah, for some reason. Yeah. We're good. Something got paused, that's all. Yeah, Bob, sometimes I'm on Night Skies Network.
Oh, okay.
But when I run my YouTube channel, I'm actually recording it,
Right.
so people can see it later.
Yeah, I've actually watched a couple of your videos after the fact.
Oh, I bet that was exciting.
It was.
I got some of these are 6 hours long, and there's nothing happening except taking pictures.
Right.
No, usually when I go to bed, I shut it off.
Yeah.
I won't run it while I'm sleeping. Mm-hmm. I'll run the system, but I won't run the YouTube channel.
Yeah.
Yep. That GPU is 7 degrees Celsius. It's feeling cold out there.
Yeah.
And it's only 7 degrees Fahrenheit out there.
Yeah.
66% humidity. I actually looked up in the sky. It's not too bad. My Boone property is so much better as far as dark.
Oh, I bet.
Yeah. But this is still usable, and I don't have to sit out in the. Well, it's just nicer.
Yeah.
I'll just leave it at that.
Yeah.
In fact, since I've got this all working so nice, I'm not sure. I didn't even stay at my Boone property this year. I stopped in 3 times and checked things out, but I didn't actually spend a night there.
Huh.
The year after I built the cabin, I was up there a dozen times. That's because at this point, my interest is to be imaging.
Yeah.
Although it is really nice to look through that 18-inch.
Right.
Oh. So the NSN group decided to drop by, eh?
Huh.
$289. I don't know if I can see 289. Let me go look it up. Let's see here. 289. kind of tough to see 289 when it's only a degree off my horizon in the southwest or in the west. That ain't going to happen. Let's see, what constellation is this in? Well, it's in Pisces. But according to this, yeah, it's 11, correct time. According to this, it is set. It's only 1 degree in altitude on my horizon. Sorry, Fred. I should bring up. Let's see. George is over in the. Let me see. I'm gonna go over here. Yeah. Hi, George.
So they don't pay any attention to it.
Today my daughter just got home from school.
Okay. I'm not logged in. So I'll publish those comet shots just for grins on my Northern Cross Observatory page. Let's see here. From tonight's run. Make sure I get the right two here. Into T2. Yeah, got it. Yep. Oh. Spell these correctly. Let's see here. Couple of photos. Okay, those are online. Couple little tiny comments. Nothing spectacular. And let's put the right date on here. See, 12, 18. Okay. What do we got? 35 frames here. Yeah, we'll stop taking images in about a half an hour, and then we'll switch over. I should have, while it was halfway warm today, I should have taken my 4-inch off the 10 and put the wide field lens on the Canon, piggyback, so I could take a look at the sky periodically. So right now I've got the Canon on a 4-inch f10 SET, piggybacked on the 10-inch. Well, when I went out there at 6:30, I says I don't feel like getting my hands frozen, so I'm not going to take it off and set it up. So I just powered up and closed the door. Came in the house and started up the system. I've done my bit in the cold weather over the years.
Okay.
Yep. When you're young, it doesn't bother you.
Right.
So I cooled the camera down to -5, right?
Mm-hmm.
-5C. Well, the camera decided that it decided the actual temperature outside is -11 C, between -10.5 and -11 C.
Uh-huh.
So me cooling it down didn't make any difference. It cooled
Right.
It's running at -10 C right now.
Right.
I suppose I could try cooling it down to -20, but I don't see why. I don't see any reason to do so. Because everything usually works fine at -5, so in fact, the noise floor will be even less, so my darks at -5 probably will work fine. We'll see. I can always take some more. I don't think I'm getting any frost on that. Take a look at this guy. I've had that happen where I'll get frost on the sensor and not notice it for a half an hour and take a bunch of images that are useless. I don't think that's any frost on there, so I think we're good. So this is the new camera I got in August. August? Yeah, I think I bought it in August. It's the Pro 071 Pro.
Mm-hmm.
It does work better than the other one, the old one. It's less noise, less amp glow. For those that are watching the YouTube channel, if you want to talk, you can download the application called Discord. Create a user ID, and then once you log in, I can either send you an invite or you can look for Northern Cross Observatory. That's where Bob and I are talking. One of these days, I might try to. I don't know if they still have that Google. What do they call it? Google Meeting or something like that. I don't know if they still have that, where you can have everybody on the same conference call with their webcam and stuff like that. So, maybe I should turn my webcam back on. Let's see. You look at my ugly face. There it is. Oh, where did my other display capture go? That's interesting. My third camera is gone. I don't know what happened to it.
There we go.
That's pretty interesting. It's not even working. I don't know why it's not seeing it. Well, that's not what I wanted. Silly thing. Well, this thing's acting weird. Okay.
What's acting weird?
OBS. That's the tool I'm using to capture everything for broadcasting.
Oh, okay.
I can show you I'll show you what it looks like. The problem is it'll be infinity here, so it'll drive you nuts. So I won't show it to you.
I know what OBS is just because I just learned that this week because one of the YouTube channels I watch, the guy uses that. So I know what you mean by OBS, but I wouldn't have known that a few days ago.
Oh, okay. Well, my video capture's not working, and it's interesting.
Yeah, I see the infinity thing. Okay.
You must not like that many inputs.
And then we'll go back to, we'll do 1 second again.
All right, I'm sneaking in.
Maybe try to adjust it so that the edging is all the same blow. Chris, you might want to try blowing it way up and then move the scope so the edging is centered. That's another way, maybe. I mean, like 300% or 400.
Yeah, because we're making an assumption that the crosshairs are dead center on the.
Right. And I'm saying use the optics to do it. You know what I'm saying, Dave?
No, I do.
Oh, I gotta mute that.
What's that? The Night Sky Network, or?
Yeah. I don't want to record them.
Right.
I don't have permission to record them, so I don't want to record them.
Mm-hmm.
That's the disclaimer I have. If you come on my Discord channel, you will be recorded.
Right.
And I will use it. I gotta go get something to drink. I'll be right back.
Okay. No.
All right. I've got me some watered down tea. It's amazing when you buy tea, how can concentration changes from manufacturer to manufacturer. All right, I'm done eating my cookie. I wonder why that is. Well, some reason OBS doesn't see my other two monitors now. I don't know why. Might have to restart it. Yeah, because my third monitor has my Observatory camera on it, and I can't display it in the YouTube channel now for some reason. It stopped working. So he talked about this comet that's set already. I want to see when it rises. It transits at a 540. This deck isn't that negative. It's only -2. I wonder if I can see that around, I don't know, 6 o'clock. Let me see what that looks like at 6 o'clock. Yeah. Supposedly 6 magnitude, which I don't believe.
Wow.
Yeah, I don't believe that.
Yeah.
But it says it's 40 degrees up at 7 o'clock in the evening. I'm going to have to look this one up. I don't believe that either. This guy is telling me one thing, but my comet list doesn't even have it on there. Let me take a look at that. Yeah, it's not even on this list.
What's it called?
289p. Blandpane? I don't know, something like that. The sky has it listed at 6 magnitude. I mean, that would be all over the place. It was.
Yeah, that's pretty spectacular.
Six magnitude. Yeah, it's not even in this comet list, so I'm gonna have to. That's kind of a curiosity. Yeah, the brightest one in this list is T2, and I just photographed it. It's 10th magnitude. I don't have any data on it right now. Let me look at the Sky Live, see what it says about it. Estimated magnitude 18.75. Okay.
It's a little different than 6.
Yeah. I kind of figured this. He was pulling my leg. Yeah, it's at a peak right now. Right now it's at a peak. peak about 18. It's going to peak at around 17 and a half and then go back down to 38th magnitude. Always check your data. Don't ever believe anybody.
Yeah.
So I'm looking at 6 magnitudes. Damn, I think that would a lot of people be talking about if it was that bright. It's not.
Yeah.
What do we get now? Yeah, about 10 minutes. Gonna slew over at 24:03. I'm gonna stop stacking this guy. I'm gonna do a quit on this. I'm gonna clean up the files too. Uh-oh, the dreaded PhD 2. Ding, ding.
No, that's not what it is.
Oh. Okay.
I am struggling here, trying to figure out what's going on. What's got it hung up? I'm in. This is from SGP.
You got a dialog box open somewhere.
Yeah, and I don't know what it is.
It's probably right in front of you.
There it is. Wait a minute. I'll do it again.
All right, we're going to be switching over to 2403 in about 10 minutes. So this image is a single frame out of SG Pro. So that's what we make these images out of, is data that looks like that. It's amazing we can even do that. Always marvel at that.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'm glad these guys made all this software to do this. I would have had to write it myself. 20 years ago, the only thing that was out there that could do something like this was Software Bisque's suite.
Yeah.
Which I had. The only thing I was missing was a good drive motor system and a good camera.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, the LX200 just wasn't good enough. And I couldn't afford the cameras at the time 20 years ago.
Right.
Yeah, we haven't had a really nice comet in the northern hemisphere in a long time.
Right.
I mean, Lovejoy was nice, but it was in the southern hemisphere when it was the brightest, so we couldn't see it from here. I think that was 2011. Last naked eye one I remember is Hyakutake and Hale Bopp.
Yeah, I remember those too. That was a long time ago.
Yep, mid-90s.
Hey, Marty accepted my friend request on Facebook. Cool.
Yeah, there's a text chat on there. Oh. I was going to decline you, but I guess I'll accept it.
Oh, thanks. I see you've accepted me too. Thanks. All right, I'm getting frustrated here. Okay, Doug, I'm shooting a 4-panel mosaic. I did the first 2 panels, no problem. And going to the third one, and it fails on the plate solve. I'm doing a 4-panel mosaic, so it's in the same, pretty much the same part of the sky as it was.
Did you do the mosaic using the mosaic tool?
I did, and I've done several nights of HA on this already, and now I'm just trying to do RGB. And the crazy thing is, if I stop this plate solve right now and I just exit the sequence and I do a solve and sync, it finds it like that. It's pointed right where it's supposed to be, and it knows where it is. I don't get what's happening here. It's frustrating me. That's why I've kind of been quiet. I'm trying to figure this out. I don't know what the deal is. It's doing its spiral search right now. It's on 340 out of 3,000, and it's going to make it to the end of 3,000
and fail.
And it's going to fail, and it doesn't make any sense, because if I could exit the sequence and I just do a solve and sync, it finds it in like 3 it goes like to, it finds it immediately. I don't get it. I even exited out of Sequence Generator Pro and restarted it, and I don't know. I'm baffled.
Well, you might want to manually go after that position then.
Meaning?
Well, you know the coordinates of the center of the panel you want to do?
I do.
Well, you could set the sequence up itself to make sure the coordinates are right. Or look at it should have generated a 4-segment sequence, right? Okay, did you check the coordinates on that third panel that it's trying to find? Make sure it's right.
Okay. Let's see if I can board this. So how can I...
So you got the sequence, right?
Yeah.
And it's got 4 objects, 4 events.
Right. So how do I tell where this...
You go to this... You go to the panel the event that it's trying to do, and click on the gearbox to the right of the description of that panel, and look at the coordinates, and then pull up your Sky or whatever software you got and see if those are the right places. Or make sure it's got the data in there, number one. So you did a 4 panel. That means that SG
Oh,
Pro
okay.
SG Pro should have put in an RA and deck for each of those panels, and they should be offset by the amount that you said percentage offset, probably 25%, right?
20. Yep.
20. Okay. So there should be cord RA and deck in each one of those sequences, right?
Mm-hmm.
In the with the when you open up the settings on each one of those. If you offset them 20%, you know what your field of view is, correct? Do you know what your field of
Yeah.
view is on the camera? Okay, so what's 20% of that field of view in that direction?
I don't know what the thing is by offhand.
Well, if your field of view was 1 degree, which is 60 arc minutes, and your
Mhm.
overlap is 20%, that means that you're going to be 15 arc minutes overlap. So you should check to see if the centroid of your previous panel, if it's right next to it in one direction, RA or deck, I don't know, but check the centroids to see if the centroids have been offset by that 60 arc minutes minus 15 arc minutes, if it's in deck or if it's in RA. If they're offset correctly, then you've got the right RA and deck in place. If it's searching forever, it sounds like it doesn't know what your field of view is.
Yeah. But I mean,
so turn off the first two. You did the first two panels. Checkbox them off. Checkbox them off. Leave the checkbox on number 3 and run the sequence from scratch. It'll only do that one panel. When you're done with that panel, if it does it, then you can turn on the 4th one to do the last panel. Because if all the coordinates are already in there, you can do them one at a time.
Right.
So you said it will plate solve if you're looking only at that one. Well, make the sequence only that one. Make sure there's an RA and deck in there with the right field of view.
Yeah, it looks right. I mean, it looks very close. I mean, I know it's in the right part of the sky.
Okay.
Even if it were wrong, it should at least solve it to that spot. You know what I mean?
Well, it should tell you. It should solve something.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, so just checkbox only the one that you're interested in right now, and restart the sequence. Then
I just did that.
See what it does.
Yeah, it's a good idea.
Yeah, my guiding's getting a little worse. It's still under an arc second though.
I'll go look at the.
We're 1 minute away. Yep, there it goes.
There what goes?
It's slewing to the next object.
Oh, cool.
You probably can't hear it because you're not listening to the YouTube channel, but that's okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Going to plate solve on 2403. We'll see what happens here. I set this up for an SG Pro to go from time A to time B on an object, and then B to C for the next object. So I only got about halfway through my frames for the 74, but at midnight, I wanted it to start 2403s.
I see.
So SG Pro finished off the last frame that would not overlap midnight, stopped and waited for midnight to occur, and slewed to the next object. So it's plate slowing now.
I see.
And you can do that with the planner.
Mm-hmm.
When you open up that settings box, there's a planner at the bottom of that little list there. You can click on that, and you can set the times, and it'll tell you what the elevations are of the object from the beginning and end. So you can kind of plan out. Well, I don't want it to start until it gets 40 degrees above the eastern horizon, and nothing past 40 degrees on the western horizon. So you can set the timer that way if you want.
Mm-hmm.
So I found that kind of useful because it has a little graph of where the object's going to be. Kind of not really a planetarium, but what do you want, Cat? You want loving, don't you? Yes, I know you do. Obnoxious little bugger. Whenever she hears me talking in here, she comes in here and harasses me.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's not too far off. That's cool. Okay, it started.
Awesome.
It just started the auto guider. It just switched over to waiting for the focuser to tell it it's in focus. And it started integrating. See, with my closed loop focuser, it even waits to make sure the focus is in focus. I don't use the SG. I don't use SG Pro's focus.
No.
No, I use Focus Lock. It's a tool that looks at the guide star and focuses on it in real time.
No, here we go again.
And
it's going on its crazy search thing when it's pointed right where it's supposed to be. I don't get it.
and almost, what are the numbers on your? See, whenever I see that happen, it doesn't have the right field of view for some reason. Your X and Y, 40 arc minutes by 30 arc minutes, or whatever it is that you have. It shows up in that plate solver that you're looking at. See what is where it says that? What does it say?
What do you mean? The starting parameters or
what?
What?
Okay, so the plate solver 2 is up right now, right?
Yes.
Okay. What is the? I don't have it in front of me, so I can't. What is the field of view that it's showing? Is it your arc minutes in the RA?
Oh, 181 by 37, 137 arc
And
minutes.
is that correct? 181 is
sure.
181 is 3 degrees. What scope are you running?
I've got a 70 millimeter stellar view with a 70 meter stellar view. A millimeter stellar view. So it's got a pretty wide field.
Yeah, okay, so it's 3 degrees by a little over 2 degrees.
Yeah, that's believable.
Okay. Well.
And the thing is, it's it worked on the first 2 frames, and it's worked. I'll tell you what I did, Doug. Like I said, I've done several nights on HA.
Right.
And I basically copied the sequence, the HA sequence, and and modified the filters, to RGB,
Right.
So it's done these fields already.
Did it focus?
It did. It did focus.
Okay. All right. No, I don't know right now.
Yeah, I don't either.
But you said you've had it slew and plate solved and worked correctly using what method?
If I were to can't, I'll do it right now. I'll just stop the search and I'll abort the.
Okay.
I'm going to abort the sequence, okay? And then you got the scope centering thing that you've got, that you can just do a solve and sync where it just figures out where the heck it is in the sky. So if I click that, it's capturing a plate solving frame, 5 seconds. It's downloading it. The plate solving comes up, and it solved it. It searched 4 regions and it plate solved it. It's
that it's going to do because it's going to plate solve wherever it's looking. So it supposedly knows where it's looking right now.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so it's showing me the center. It's showing me the center of where it thinks where it's at right now, and that should be pretty darn close to.
Does it tell you? Does it tell you the coordinates that it's centered on?
Yeah. and deck. Yeah.
Can you check those? Can you check those against the panel?
I'm going to. Just a second. I gotta write it down. Five, 22, and 20, 26, 15. And then if I go to this panel, target settings, 5, 45, 30, 27. It's really close to. It's really close to the location it's supposed to go to.
Yeah. When it plate solved, did it also say 180 by 131?
What it said was.
Give
that. It gave a. I'll do it again just so I can see what it says. Close that window. Uh-oh. Now it's not finding where it is. This is weird.
Oh, you got clouds?
No, I don't think so. Now it's going on this forever. That's weird. No, it's not solving. Nothing's moved. Do I have clouds?
I don't know. Is there anything on the image? The plate solve image? Boy, I hate it when I pet this cat. I got fur all over my hands. It just floats everywhere. This cat. It's a medium hair. It's not really a long hair, but it's a calico. She's got a lot of fur.
Yeah, there's no clouds.
When you say you do a solve and sync, are you actually syncing on the coordinates? For your go ahead.
There's a scope centering window, and it's what it says is solve and sync. If I bring up the little window underneath it, it says captures a plate solve image at the binning level selected, attempts to solve it, and then synchronizes the telescope's position in order to refine its position. It says, note, your telescope must think it's in the general proximity of the area you're trying to solve.
Yeah, I wonder if the sync algorithm though is trying to recompute the sky map. If you keep syncing on something that's very close to the same area, you can easily screw up the map that the scope thinks it's at.
I wonder if that's what it is.
Well, the easiest way to do something about that is to slew, let's say, 30 degrees to some other object.
That's what I was thinking.
And see if it gets there. And
yeah.
But no, normally, see, I don't sync on it. I just solve. Because when I do a solve, even if I'm off by half a degree, it'll slew to where the coordinates should be based on the solve itself. It says, okay, I'm a half a degree in RA and a quarter degree in deck off from where my target is, so I'll slew in the correct direction, reacquire, and then solve again. But I don't sync the scope with it.
I'm not sure how to plate solve without syncing. I mean, I'm new to this SGP, so.
Well, let me take a look at something here. Well, I don't have anything turned on to do a sync, so I don't know. So you use the solve and sync button down below?
That's what I was doing.
Yeah, I've never used that.
Really?
No. I only plate solve. In the sequence, they tell it to center, to slew to and to center on in the plate solve.
Yeah.
But I don't sync. I don't sync my scope because I leave that separate so that the model doesn't get changed. The only time I ever sync the scope is use the Gemini to slew to when I open up, I slew to a fundamental star. I get it centered and it's async. But even if I don't do that, if I just use the plate solver only,
how can I just use a plate solver? I guess I don't understand.
Your sequence does that. In your sequence, it just uses a plate solve. Right. But if I am guessing at something, I'm not telling you that's what's wrong, that you're doing a solve. I'm guessing that maybe it may be messing up the scope's position. But, do you have an indicator where the scope thinks it's pointing? Take care, Tom.
I'm not sure what you mean by an indicator. Sorry.
So on my Las Mondi, I have a dialog box that shows me the RA, the deck, the hour angle, and the local sidereal time, and the time to my limit. So I know where the scope.
I have that.
Okay, so if you look at that and see what the coordinates say for it,
yeah,
and it's supposedly pointing at your object, compare those coordinates to what's in your sequence setup. Compare those two, see if they're anywhere close.
Well, I'm gonna see what happens. I just moved the scope quite a ways away and did a plate solve and sync.
And what did it do? Did it work?
It gave me a very different coordinate, and now I'm telling it to start my sequence again.
Okay. And see if
I'm gonna see what happens.
Okay. With only that one panel, right?
The telescope position, it's in the right. It should be in the right ballpark. We'll see what happens.
Okay.
What's weird is it's telling me it's slewing to the target right now, and it does it for quite a while. But I've got a camera on my mount, and it quit moving quite a while ago. But it'll say this for a while. It's weird. But it has always done this. I mean, always. I've been doing this for a month or two on SGP. Everything else I did before was ASI air, and so.
Okay.
So it's still saying slewing to target, even though the telescope is not moving. So I'm not sure what it thinks it's doing right now. But once it gets past this, then it'll probably do the focus, and then it'll move to the thing where it's trying to slew to do the plate solving thing on the target.
Right.
Okay. Oh, it's doing the plate solving thing on the target right now. So it's moving the telescope a little tiny bit. I don't know why.
Because
It's moving it quite a bit. It says waiting for equipment to idle. And the telescope doesn't seem to be moving right now. Looking at the camera.
Just give it a little time.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm on 2403.
And looking at the telescope's current position, looks like it's, you know, that SGP is showing me, it looks about right. I'm still waiting. It's still saying waiting for equipment to idle and slewing to reference frame to rotate. And this takes a while for some reason, and then it'll take a picture and try to validate its position. We'll see what happens. I know what's going to happen. I'm going to get this figured out, and then that cloud's going to move in.
You got to have the patience, so if you live in Michigan.
It's just the way it is. I get it.
It's just the way it is. When it's clear, you grab it. That way I get, I figure tonight will be clear, and it'll be cloudy for 3 more weeks, so I'll get plenty of sleep.
Yeah.
I actually took 2 naps today.
Nice. Okay, it's trying to validate it now. Downloading plate saw frame. Here it goes on its endless search. God, I don't get it. What the heck? I really don't get it.
What if there's enough?
I have a feeling it's something like. I have a feeling it has something to do with what you were saying about the solvent sink. Maybe the mount.
I don't know.
I don't know.
But if there's not enough stars for it to solve.
Oh, there's a ton of stuff. Oh wait, what did it do? There's 1,830 stars. So.
Maybe there's too many. Did you do dark? Did you do dark frames on this thing? On your guide camera?
No, I've never done that though.
Well, the problem is if you got hot pixels, it's going to think those are stars too.
Yeah.
And so that is a failure mode. I'm just letting you know.
Yeah. But it's not using the guide camera for this. It's using the imaging camera.
Okay.
But I haven't. Yeah.
I'm getting clouds.
Yeah, I'm looking at that thing, and it looks like I can believe it. Knowing where you are in relationship to me, I can believe that.
Yeah, I lost one of my dimmer guide stars. I had to switch over to one of the brighter ones. The only thing I miss with retirement is my extra money.
Your extra what?
Money.
Oh, yeah.
My extra income.
Yeah.
Yeah, we must be have some high stuff starting to come in.
Yeah. Yeah, it definitely looks like it's it's around your area right now.
So the purple is cloud cover, I take it. Yeah. That's going to hit you soon.
Yep.
But that was predicted.
Yep. I knew this was going to happen. I just wish that I would then had stupid glitch that I could have used all the time that was clear tonight, but that's part of the hobby, I guess,
Yeah. Yeah, for me it would cost too much to move to New Mexico.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we're definitely screwed here. Look at this last frame came in.
Oh, nice. Oh boy.
Yeah. That's a bad frame. I'm gonna mark that one bad.
Yeah, a little bit.
Well, what's even worse is I'm probably not that far from the moon.
Is that up already?
Yeah. It just hit the horizon, I think. Yep. 16 arc minutes away from rising off my horizon, my actual horizon. So it's already probably casting a glow off in that direction.
Yeah.
And if I recall, I'm actually pointed a little bit towards it. Nah, I'm mostly overhead right now. I'm good. The interesting thing is, I always wanted to find where it would lock the cursor in place in the Sky software, but I don't think I ever found it. This is the first time I've noticed that it actually is locked on it. I didn't want it to be.
Oh my gosh. I told you this was going to happen.
What?
It plate solved in my sequence, and the clouds are probably about to move in.
Well, how long did it take? A long time to solve?
Yeah, but I moved the scope. I moved the scope in another direction, solved and synced on that, and then I told it to start the sequence, and
okay,
and it now it's working. I told you that was going to happen. I told you to get it working, and then the clouds move in. But at least I got it working. I don't know. I don't understand why. But
well, the thing is, if you sync in the 3-dimensional sky map, if you sync on multiple objects that are very close to together, you could easily screw up the celestial sphere that it thinks it's looking at.
I can see that.
So that's the only time I would rather manually sync when I think it's appropriate, like when I know I've slewed from the west to the east and I want to add a point to the model. I might sync and add to the model so it's points better in the east. But otherwise, I don't sync at all. I only sync once. And I mean, the way I've got it set up, I don't even need to sync. If you plate solve, it figures out where it's looking, and then it says, okay, from there I got to move here. The problem is The problem is if the model is being changed in the scope, SGP doesn't know that, but it's going to say, go ahead and move this much, and then the scope may, if it says move to this RA and deck and the scope isn't on the same page with it, then it's not going to line up.
Mm-hmm. But I mean, I'm looking at the plate solving image it took, and it looks just like all the images that I've been looking at, you know, for the last while.
Month. Yeah.
I mean, there's a pattern of stars there. It's in the pretty much exact same spot it's been in this whole time, you know. So.
Okay.
So, but it's obviously it was confused. That's probably not a good sign. I'm not sure what that was.
Yeah, I turned off all the. There's several. Well, the Gemini has a audio voice that it'll talk to you when it's slowing and all that kind of stuff. I turned that off because I found it to be distracting and not useful.
Right.
It's like when you write software, you really only want to throw an air condition when the user really has to do something. If you're always throwing notifications, it becomes noise to them, and when something important comes along, they'll just miss it.
Mm-hmm.
So it's the same, you know. I only want it to beep at me when it says, "You got to pay attention to this."
Yeah. Right.
And one of them is when you lose your guide star.
Mm-hmm.
Because then it might be getting cloudy.
Yep. Well, tonight I tried starting early, and all of a sudden PhD was beeping at me, and my guide star was behind the power line. You know, I have in my east power line, and that's one reason I wanted to get the observatory built, because the scope will be like 12 feet off the ground then, the way I'm hoping to do it, you know. So, and then that'll give me a lot more clearance as far as angular clearance to the power lines. So.
Ding! I'm getting the ding.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, I've lost my sky. Oh, now it came back. But the cool thing about it is if you just leave everything alone, and if this happens when I'm sleeping, it'll try to reacquire it for an hour and a half. And
really, I always wondered.
Yeah, I got it set to try to keep going for 90 minutes. And guess what? If clouds pass through for only 20 minutes, it goes and plate solves and finds the object again, and continues on. Yeah, I've just let it do its thing, and I trust that it will do it because it's done it in the past.
Huh.
And that's the whole point behind automation.
Yeah. Yeah, it is.
But I'm up right now, so if it looks like it's not going to clear again, I may shut it down anyways. So I'm going to look at this to page. That looks pretty solid coming over.
It is. It is. Yeah, I mean, I think it's over with. Once it's got to your area, I think you're done. Unfortunately.
The irony is the transparency is supposedly staying the same until 3 o'clock, but it looks like it does get a little worse then. So I may just pack this up. It's already gone into recovery mode.
Right. Yeah, I think it's probably over for you, and it's probably going to be over for me very shortly too. So.
I'm gonna go check the sky visually. I'll be right back.
Okay. Doing a meridian flip. Better stop soon.
Yeah, we're done.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Whole sky is covered.
Is it?
Well, it's thin where I'm looking, but only enough to see a. I see a guide star on there, but that thing's not actually running.
Yeah.
Anything about it. But I don't think this will even solve. We'll see. I'm going to bring this down so you can see it while I'm closing it up. Because I don't think we're going to be. Well, it did solve one pass.
Hmm. There it is.
It is trying to start up again. Let me see what's going on here. It found a guide star, but it's not dark. It's not clear enough. I'm gonna abort this.
Mm-hmm.
It is not good enough. So we're gonna call it a night. Pause sequence and abort. And I'm gonna go close it up. I'm gonna let you watch.
Okay.
Turn on the infrared. Here we go. And in fact, I'm gonna go park it right now. All done.
I see that. I waved. I'm done here too. It's getting muddy here too. But good news is that I was actually able to get on the target again, and it would have continued. I mean, I could have had it, start imaging, but it's not good enough to continue. So I think like you said, that